So today's episode, this is going to be a good one. How I got fired after increasing new patients by 150%. This is going to be a good one. A lot of people don't talk about getting fired, right? A lot of times dentists like to talk about when they fire clients, or patients, I should say. I've even talked about having to fire clients before, being rude, cussing out our team members, things like that. But a lot of people don't talk about when patients leave your office because they didn't like you. Or marketing companies definitely don't talk about, here's a client that left us and here's why. Okay. The reason I'm talking about this, number one, I think people will listen. That's number one. But number two, I think there's some really good lessons in here of why someone would leave even though their new patients grew by 150%. So in today's episode, that's what we're going to talk about, is why I got fired after helping an office grow year over year, 150% their new patient growth, and you're not going to want to miss this one. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Marketing Go. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. But you can't grow if you're firing your marketing company all the time, and especially after you already grew, right? So here's a really interesting story. We have a client, and it was really hard at first. At first, they couldn't grow. And the reason they couldn't grow is a lot of reasons. And this is where some of the impact's going to come for you, but at the end, the impact's going to come. And I don't have a free resource. The story is the resource, okay? So basically what happened is we had to fix their landing page, and they fought us on that. There were some things that was missing on their website that they just didn't want to do as a dentist, and that happens sometimes. And they were like, no, I want to charge, $400 for a cleaning. It's like, your marketing isn't going to work, period. Well, I just don't want to be cheap. I get it. And if you've watched our podcast before, you already know what I'm going to say about all that, right? And I'm not going to jump into that today. But it's like, no, you got to be competitive, right? How to get their Google reviews up. Then we had to fix their phones. They were atrocious on the phones. Their front desk was literally scaring away new patients. So they weren't answering the phone. And on top of that, they were not saying the right things to the patients when they were answering the phone. So got that fixed. And then people wouldn't buy treatment. Now, this doctor was smart enough to know this isn't a marketing problem. It's clear that we have to fix some things. And so we get this office up and going, and we're looking at the numbers and we're celebrating. They're happy. We're happy. They're like, this is working. Our new patients have more than doubled. So they doubled and then they half doubled again, right? So they went from, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was something like 20 new patients to 50 new patients, something like that, right? Huge jumps. And so everybody's happy, right? And then we get a letter or a note saying, no, we don't want to continue relationship with you anymore. And we're diving into the middle of it right now, so I don't know all the details, but I looked at all the data, so I have a really, really good idea. So one thing is they're spending about $10,000 a month. So one thing is for sure I can see is that they don't want to spend $10,000 a month. So number one, someone promised them, hey, we can get you the same results and spend a fraction of that. Okay, that's great, right? I have no problem with that if that's the only thing. But the other problem was in the ROI. And I'm going to explain this, the return on investment. So the return on investment in the same month is dismal. It's like 100%, 50%, which is really, it's not good, right? You want to get that up into the 200s, 300s, 400%, right? Here's the problem. They never learned block scheduling. So I started to dip back in the data, and in August, their ROI is 400%. In September, their ROI is 300%. In October, around that, right? I'm rounded these numbers. October is 200%. November is not even 100%. And December is even lower. Why is that? What's going on there? Here's what's happening. They're putting their new patients so far out that they're not realizing the treatment from those new patients until 2 and 3 months later. So what happens is the marketing that you're doing 3 months ago, you're just experiencing that today. You're just starting to get the ROI from that today. And it's almost impossible to track unless you really have a lot of deep conversations, deep conversations. It's impossible for you to see what's going on. So you think that what's happening this month is from this month, but it's not. It's from 3 months ago because you push new patients so far out. So it's taking a month to see a new patient. And then that new patient's coming back like a month later to do the treatment because you're not scheduling efficiently. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, whoa. I'm not doing that. That's not happening to me. This is so common. This is so common. And it's such an easy fix. The fix is so easy. You just have to block schedule your new patients and you have to leave availability to do the treatment when they come in. That's it. And now the ideal thing, and I know this is really tricky and people hear this and they're like, I can't do that. But this is where you want to get to. Same day appointments, same day treatment. If you can do that, your ROI shoots through the roof. You don't have all these lagging ROI, these lagging money coming in months and months later. And you don't have to make all these changes to your marketing because everything just works. Now, a lot of people can't get to that, but at bare minimum, try to get people in 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 business days from when they call, and then try to get their treatment done right away while they're there. And if not, try to get it done like the next day. Patients don't want to come back. Let's just be honest. Patients do not. As a patient, when I go to a dental office, I don't want to come back again and again and again. I'm blocking time today, and that's it. And I expect everything to get done. Now, I know it can't always get done, but that's what I want as a patient. And that's what every patient wants. No patient ever said, I really hope I can stretch this out into a lot of other appointments. Never. I watched a really good video of Jeff Bezos, and he said, my core values at Amazon are always going to stay the same because people's wants are always going to stay the same. Everybody's always going to want lower prices. Everybody's always going to want faster delivery. In 2030, he said this back in the 90s. It's just crazy. He said in 2035, people aren't going to say, you know what? I wish it took 3 days instead of 2 days to get my package. These are really good principles to live by in your business. No one's ever going to want to do multiple appointments. No one ever wants to wait weeks or months to come into the dental office. So the faster you can get these patients in, the faster you can realize money to your practice, and the faster you can grow. But the longer you stretch it out, the more holes you're creating, the more opportunities for failure you're creating, and the faster you're going to lose money. Okay? So the lesson, create a smooth patient journey that you would want to come to. And right now, most dental offices don't have that. The vast majority of dental offices don't have that. So that's the lesson. Hopefully it was helpful. If so, drop a comment down below. It really helps me. Subscribe if you're on YouTube and like, and we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us. And then you'll continue to get these good hacks, these smart hacks to help your office grow if you subscribe. So we just crossed 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thanks so much for tuning in.